Right, everybody, I want to talk about three strikers Manchester United could potentially sign. I'll be talking about Victor Gyökeres, Benjamin Sesko, and Hugo Ekitike. So I'm going to start off by talking about Victor Gyökeres, a player who has been linked to Manchester United ever since, and even before actually Ruben Amorim came in. Now he has an insane amount of stats and insane amount of goals for Sporting. He's 26 years old, and I think he'll be one of those players who would be interested in that Premier League move. Now with Manchester United, we're going to have to generate funds initially for a striker, and I think will we have the funds for someone like Victor Osimhen? Not Victor Osimhen, Victor Gyökeres. I think with Gyökeres, there isn't a player there who's got experience and got very, very good quality on the ball. You look at what Manchester United need in a striker. He has that pace, he has that experience, and what he's done for Sporting is fantastic. Now he's 26. This season, 28 goals and 5 assists in 33 games. Yes, he's doing it in the Portuguese league, but it is a very competitive league. He has a market value of around £64 million. And his 2 seasons at Sporting have been absolutely insane. Last season, 50 games, 43 goals, 14 assists. This season, 41 games, 40 goals and 9 assists. He definitely does have that experience. He played at Coventry, Swansea, Brighton obviously let him go for £1 million. He's one of those players who, for me, Højlund can learn from, which is absolutely fantastic. And he's also someone who can massively affect Manchester United in the short term. And you look at goals, 1.21 per game when compared to other forwards. Absolutely fantastic. He scores penalties, gets around 1 shot on target per game. And I think he's one of those strikers who can create chances for himself. And I think that's something that Manchester United fans have been very critical of Rasmus Højlund. He's a player who, again, can create chances, but you can see that in the last few games he's starting to do that. And I think with Gyökeres, you get that experience already, and I think someone who Rasmus can learn off immediately. So let me know your thoughts on him, but he is the first one that Manchester United have been linked to. Would be pretty pricey, but I think he does have a release clause of around like £60 million. Now the next person I want to talk about is Benjamin Sesko, another striker who's young. He's been linked to Arsenal quite a bit. He started 24 matches this season for Leipzig. 10 goals and 5 assists in 25 matches actually isn't bad. He's a consistent player for Leipzig. He plays for them quite a bit, and I think he would be one of those players who comes into Manchester United. I mean, I would be concerned just based on the fact he is 21 years old, similar age to Rasmus Højlund. I think you look at what Manchester United need. We need someone who's a bit more experienced than Højlund. I think we have that young up-and-coming striker in Rasmus already, and I think he's that player who can go on and be that striker going forward. I think right now we need a player who's maybe 25, 26, will slot in, can score 15, 20 goals or 30 goals a season. I don't think Sesko's that. He's certainly a young and a different option to Rasmus Højlund. He's someone who has proved it, can score goals. I mean, signing any striker will be a benefit because it does take the pressure of Rasmus Højlund. I think with Sesko, as I said, he's been linked to many Premier League clubs. For me, I wouldn't go out and sign him because, as I said, the age. Why would we sign another sort of player with the same profile as Rasmus Højlund? It wouldn't make any sense. It'd be a huge risk for Manchester United. I think what we need right now is someone who's experienced, maybe cost £60 million, but you know you're going to get 20, 25 goals from. And I think that's what you get from Victor Osimhen. I think there's no doubt if you were to sell Rasmus Højlund, who has been linked with a move away, you might bring in Sesko as someone to replace him. But ultimately, for me, I think Manchester United should be swift in this move. Now, the next and the final striker I want to talk about is Hugo. I still don't know how to say his name. Is it Hugo Ekitike? I think that's what I'm going to say. He's 22 years old. Again, playing in the Bundesliga. 17 goals and assists in 25 matches. 13 goals and 4 assists. 22. Plays for Frankfurt. Again, has been linked to Manchester United. Another inexperienced striker who's still... Listen, he's been at PSG. Went to Eintracht Frankfurt. Again, a player who... This season, 27 goals and assists in 38 games. Is the second season at Frankfurt. They are doing well in the Bundesliga. For me, would I go out and sign him? Again, similar profile to Rasmus Højlund. I think you need a Osimhen, a Gyökeres, someone who's 25, 26, got a couple of years left in him at the top level, and can score goals. I think we need someone in the immediate run because we've seen what Højlund can do, but again, it's not consistent enough. And I think we need a clinical striker who can do that. I think Hugo Ekitike has great hold-up play, can spin in behind, in terms of stats this season, 13 goals, which is pretty good. But again, is he the sort of profile that you want? Probably not for me. I think he's just, these strikers are too similar to Rasmus Højlund, and I don't think you want a striker who's that similar of a profile, because you're not going to get anything different. You're just going to see a similar sort of profile to Rasmus Højlund, and that's what would be the huge concern for me. Now, let me know your thoughts in the comments on the striker situation. I think it'd be interesting to see. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what does happen. I think the striker situation at Manchester United is definitely something that we do need, and we do need someone to come in. Who that is, I told you my ideal choice would be Viktor Gyökeres. The experience, the quality, the age is all on his side, and again, it would just be whether Manchester United have the funds to do so. Again, you look at players who are going to leave United though in the forward position: Antony, Rashford, Sancho, maybe even Garnacho. I think we will have the money to sign him. It's just about will Manchester United go and pursue a player like Gyökeres, who, again, we see what the budget is for Manchester United, but he would be my ideal choice. Let me know your thoughts.